Long considered a deadly predator,
The thing about these snakes is the female king cobra.
these snakes are not your everyday garden variety example. In fact, some measure as much as 9 meters and weigh more than an average American teenager. Just imagine coming across something like that while out for an afternoon stroll. That is the stuff of nightmares. From the charred remains of a 30-foot long monster to a heavily pampered python, here are 15 biggest snakes in the world. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos every day. That being said, let's begin. Number 15. Indonesian Anaconda. Images have emerged of what is believed to be a 30-foot long python in Indonesia. The images unfortunately only show a charred carcass, as the gigantic snake was unable to survive the heat of an out-of-control fire in Indonesian Borneo. The snake was believed to be a reticulated python, but unfortunately it was engulfed by the flames and nobody got to see this beast of a serpent in action. The predator was reportedly found by residents hailing from the village of Basiri Hilir, which is in the East Kota Waringin Regency in central Kalimantan province on Indonesian Borneo, Asia's third largest island, shared between Malaysia and Brunei in the north and Indonesia to the south. Said to be as thick as an average human's thigh, its scales were visibly charred black. In fact, it was almost unrecognizable. The species is known by Borneo's native Dayak people as the Tangkaluk, or king python. Residents and researchers alike would have been absolutely gutted that they never got to study this particular snake and see what it was capable of. With a bit of luck, there may be more out there, but whether they're on the same scale as this one, only time will tell. Number 14. Papuan Olive Python. Prony is the name that was given to the largest captive reticulated python in the Philippines. Prony was caught in the wild in 1996 and measured about 5 feet long. 9 years on, and she measured close to 23 feet and weighed almost 200 kilograms. Prony is kept in a forested-like area in Alber, where her caretakers work around her remarkable size. They believe her growth mainly came from how well she was treated, as her owners consider her an important part of the family. They even go so far as to talk to the snake and give her a bath 4 times a day. If that isn't strange enough, they also celebrate her birthday every single year, feeding her live chickens as a present. Yuck. Just imagine. Her size makes her an incredible being, but she also has some character about her. Prony is fed a selection of either pig or goat each month. However, it was soon discovered that she had an uncanny ability to sense the safety of her food. If the animal had been sick or wasn't in a good state, she wouldn't eat it. Even if she was starving, she seemed to understand the risks. This was one clever reptile, wouldn't you say? Number 13. Dark Spotted Anaconda. The dark spotted anaconda is also known as Deschaunsey's anaconda. The snake is named after and dedicated to Rodolphe Meyer Deschaunsey, who in 1924 donated the first ever captive dark spotted anaconda to the Philadelphia Zoo. The snake is surprisingly shy, and as a result, researchers don't have complete clarity on their population and their growth. They're also a lot like most other species of anaconda, as they absolutely love the water and are very efficient swimmers. If they're not busy hunting prey or swimming, then you might find them slithering up trees to sun themselves. While suntanning does sound like a nice and relaxing process for the dark spotted anaconda, it is far from it. In fact, they have to keep a close eye out for any predators approaching or attempting an assault on them while they are in such a vulnerable state. These snakes can grow upwards of 9 feet in length, so it's a little odd to think that creatures even consider going after them for lunch. But this is the wild we're talking about. There's no rules here. Number 12. Boa Constrictor. In October of 2019, one of these serpents was loose in the township of Silverdale, a small town west of Sydney. These snakes can grow upwards of 15 kilograms, and some of the largest have measured at around 3 meters long. These are usually females, as the males are just naturally smaller in comparison. These snakes aren't venomous, but at the time, people were still worried, as they still had the ability to strangle their prey due to their considerable size and length. This meant that even though nothing and nobody could be poisoned, there was still a chance the boa constrictor could pounce on someone and strangle them to death. Though many feared for their own safety, most were far more concerned about the other wildlife in Sydney. New South Wales government officials took the snake's disappearance very seriously and organized many search parties to ensure it was found. It is 100% illegal to keep one of these snakes, unless they're in a zoo, and it's easy to see why. It is a native of Central and South America, has several patterns of circles and lines around its body. Pair that with its incredible stealth in the wild, and you've got yourself a pretty dangerous and evasive snake. In the end, it was captured, but great precautions were taken to make sure it was in perfect health when it was taken to the zoo, so its handlers wouldn't catch anything nasty. Number 11. Yellow Anaconda. The yellow anaconda, also known as the Paraguayan anaconda, is a species of boa that spawned from South America. The adult male anaconda can grow to lengths of 14 feet in total, while some females have reportedly reached 15 feet. As for their weight, they tend to weigh anywhere between 25 or 35 kilograms, but there have been cases of some anacondas weighing a whopping 55 kilograms, although this is definitely a rarity if anything. It is easily one of the largest snakes on this list, but like every other type of boa and python, the yellow anaconda isn't venomous and kills its prey through constriction. The snake basically uses its body to apply pressure to its victim, essentially squeezing the life out of them. Their color is rather unique, with their pattern consisting of a yellow, golden tan, and or greenish yellow shade. This is overlaid with an assortment of black spots and streaks. In captivity, these snakes have a reputation for being insanely predictable and can be quite dangerous around humans when being tended to or when being transported. Number 10. Scrub Python. Amethystine. The scrub python can grow as much as 8 meters in length. Also known as the amethystine, this snake is considered to be Australia's largest python and is among the top 6 largest pythons in the world. This type of python are usually located in northern tropical Queensland, Indonesia, western New Guinea, and also Papua New Guinea. It mainly populates dense, warm areas such as rainforests, but will not shy away from venturing out into the suburbs, although this usually results in issues for people around those zones. The scrub python doesn't carry any venom, however, and can really only coil around its prey to squeeze it until it passes out or dies. It will then swallow the victim whole, something that is common in most pythons. These snakes struggle to keep a low profile out in the wild and around people as well. It seems as though wherever they go, something bad happens. For instance, there was a python that had to be rushed to an animal hospital as it had ingested a children's toy cow after finding its way into a home in Corunda, a mountain village near Cairns. Meanwhile, there was another occurrence in which ex-wildlife handler Bridie Marrow was tasked with removing one of these pythons from underneath a family's home. It was all well and good, he caught the snake and went to relocate it. However, upon doing so, he discovered a bulge in the snake's body, which unfortunately turned out to be the family's cat. These guys are seriously not to be trusted. Number 9. Indian Python Snake. A pretty vile video was released in August of what appeared to be a 13-foot-long Indian python throwing up what was left of a stray dog it had swallowed. A local wildlife enthusiast recorded the incident as it happened in a forest within the northern Indian state of Rajasthan. Whilst out on a rescue, they witnessed the python was eating something. Clearly, whatever it was, it didn't agree with the giant snake, and he promptly spat it out. A ghastly scene, the remains of a small dog were left lying on the ground. Snakes usually regurgitate their food when they are nervous or feel under threat by predators. The man that recorded the video also stated that it took the snake half an hour to swallow the dog, so it can't have been an easy task bringing it back up again. There have been many cases of pythons swallowing dogs, goats, and other animals over the years, and it's really no different with the Indian python. The strangest of all these cases, however, came out of East Kimberley, Western Australia in May, when photos were taken of what seemed to be a python vomiting up another python. Miraculously, the python that came out was actually bigger than the python that had swallowed it. The mind boggles. Number 8. African Python. Incredible footage was captured by wildlife guide Michelle Soul at the Marrakeel National Park in South Africa of an African python devouring a small impala calf. While all this was going on, all the poor calf's mother and the rest of the herd could do was watch in horror. Michelle said that she had been alerted to the situation as she heard the cries of the impala herd prior to discovering the predator enjoying a feast. She noticed the herd were staring at the ground and, upon closer inspection, discovered a small, motionless impala calf with a massive 4-meter python wrapped around it. The herd slowly moved away, accepting that the snake had taken one of their own. Michelle, however, was fascinated to see that even though the calf was very much dead, the snake still continued to apply pressure, despite the fact that the calf was clearly dead. The mother impala came back shortly afterward, but she was completely powerless throughout the whole attack. The snake finally released its grip minutes later once it was convinced the calf was dead, and it proceeded to swallow the poor thing whole. The African python is Africa's largest living snake. It is capable of reaching up to 7 meters in length and can weigh up to 90 kilograms. This thing is a literal monster in both size and behavior. Number 7. Reticulated python. Reticulated pythons are very strictly carnivorous snakes and often ambush their prey from trees and bushes. This is unfortunate for any prey that happens to cross its path and into striking distance. The reticulated python can be found in the rainforests of Southeast Asia. They can range from Nicobar Islands, Burma, across to Indochina, Borneo, Sulawesi, Suram, and Timor of the Philippines. These snakes tend to feed on birds and mammals. However, they can expand their diet as far as dogs, large deer, and pigs. Small snakes mostly go after rats, but if need be, will shift over to larger mammals such as wild pigs. Reticulated pythons are among many reptiles that have a low metabolic rate. What this means is that they can live without food for extended periods of time. In 1926, a captive reticulated python at Regent's Park Zoo refused anything to eat for a massive 23 months. Shortly after, it finally accepted meals, and all was well. It appeared to have no long-lasting effects. These snakes can weigh up to 250 pounds. Many have considered it the longest living snake on the planet, with measurements of between 16 and 25 feet. The largest living reticulated python is currently captive at the Pittsburgh Zoo. It was measured at 28.5 feet in length and weighed 320 pounds. The snake was female and conveniently called Colossus. Meanwhile, the largest ever recorded was an insane 32 feet long and holds the record as the longest snake in the world, earning its place in the 1991 Guinness Book of World Records. Number 6. Biggest python pet snake. Jay Brewer, founder of Prehistoric Pets, has one of the most exhaustive collections of reticulated python morphs on the planet, and the snake showcased in this clip is no exception. Prehistoric Pets is an incredible pet store that specializes in and showcases exotic pets such as snakes, lizards, turtles, and even gators. The staff are all very enthusiastic about reptiles and know plenty of important facts about what could be your next pet. Brewer's YouTube channel's goal really is to encourage and train the community on how to properly care for their reptile friends. His enthusiasm and overall love for the creatures makes it a rather enjoyable experience that'll help pass the time. In this particular video, he showcases a female platinum python. It's 20 feet in length and weighs almost 300 pounds. He seems to absolutely adore her and talks her up throughout the whole video, often cracking humorous jokes at his own expense along the way. Jay Brewer should be looked up to as a guy that proves we can live with snakes, and that with plenty of time and effort put into them, they can make excellent companions. Number 5. Burmese python. Burmese pythons are easily one of the biggest snakes around, but are most famous for their rather unique methods of catching and eating their prey. The python has sharp rearward pointing teeth, and following the capture of the prey, it coils around it and squeezes till it suffocates. The stretchy ligaments within the jaws of the Burmese python allow them to swallow animals of up to 5 times the size of their head. It's certainly nasty, but you can't argue from their perspective that it's quite efficient. Their prey usually consists of smaller birds, rats, and mice. These snakes are quite commonly used as pets, as people seem to enjoy their unique and attractive colors. They're also said to be pretty easygoing around humans. The Burmese python can grow up to 16 feet in length and have reached weights as big as nearly 180 pounds. The longest ever recorded was an impressive 18 feet 10 inches. This snake was a female that lived in the serpent safari for 27 years. Number 4. Green Anaconda. Yet another member of the boa family, the green anaconda hails from South America and is the largest living snake species in the world as of this moment. The reticulated python can certainly reach insane lengths in comparison, but in terms of natural size and weight, the green anaconda takes the trophy, its girth making it almost twice as heavy as its cousins. Green anacondas can reach lengths of 29 feet and can weigh up to 500 pounds. Like most snakes, the female can grow considerably larger than the males, but that doesn't make the males any less intimidating. Anacondas are usually found living in swamps, marshes, and slow-moving streams, mainly in the tropical rainforests of the Amazon and Orinoco basins. Their massive size has allowed them to have an extensive range of food and prey, tackling animals such as pigs, deer, birds, turtles, and even one of the world's greatest predators, the jaguar. These guys aren't fussy. The bigger, the better. Number 3. Black Mamba. The black mamba may not win the award for largest or longest snake, but it is definitely the most dangerous snake in the world, with probably the most lethal of venoms out of any other species of snake on the planet. They're quick too, and if they feel threatened, they can be very aggressive toward anyone and anything. They are a leading cause of numerous human deaths every year and have at times been widely exaggerated through African myths and legends. The black mamba is mainly located in the savannas and rocky hills of southern and eastern Africa. They can reach lengths of up to 14 feet and can slither at speeds past 12 miles per hour. So it's safe to say you'd be hard-pressed to outrun one of these fellas, and if they inject your venom, it's game over. Lights out. Number 2. King Cobra. The king cobra is a rather venomous snake species that belongs to the family Elapidae. It is mainly found in forests in India and throughout Southeast Asia. For a venomous snake, it is quite long, with most significantly smaller. The king cobra can grow up to 13 feet long, although the longest ever recorded ended up being somewhere around 19 feet in length. In terms of its eating habits and prey, it normally goes after other snakes and vertebrates, such as lizards and rodents. Its venom can be highly lethal to those that it bites, although it doesn't have a rich history with humans and often avoids any confrontation with them altogether. In Africa, their habitat is currently under threat due to deforestation and the need to expand agricultural land. They are also constantly under threat from poaching, as their skin and meat is predominantly useful within traditional Chinese medicines. An intriguing fact, given how poisonous they are. Number 1. Brazilian Anaconda. Some intriguing video clips recently emerged of what was supposedly a 49-foot-long anaconda located in Brazil. If this clip is to be believed, then there could be a new snake ready to take on the baton of the longest snake in the world. The video went viral and sent the internet into a spiral of speculation, with many criticizing it and suggesting it was fake. The Brazilian anaconda is believed to be another member of the widely diverse boa family. There is very little to find about the so-called Brazilian anaconda, which is why many have been so critical about the findings. Other issues also deem the video somewhat unhelpful, as there's really no evidence as to where it was shot, and though the snake does look big, we have no exact way of measuring it or any visual of someone else measuring it. The video only lasts 30 seconds. Is it historical footage shot many years ago, or has it been taken recently? With no way to tell, we can only guess as to its legitimacy. Is there a 49-foot-long anaconda alive today? Who knows? Catching a giant snake can be an easy task. Figuring out the method of capture would be the first hurdle, given the size of some of them. I mean, Voldemort's snake Nagini on Harry Potter was enough to send shivers down my spine, and that was confined to a screen. The very thought of snaring a live specimen is simply too much. It certainly makes you wonder how many people are severely maimed or killed trying to catch them. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.